Hey there, it's the Yard Buddha, and today I'd like to show you guys how I prune the candles off of pine trees, pine bushes. These specifically are Mugo pines, and I did some pruning of these last year. I actually probably took off about 3 feet off the top because they have some rhododendron and other bushes back there that need some light. So we're just kind of trying to control the size of these. So I'm going to get in there and take off this new growth just so that it stays a little bit more compact. And they have a bunch of them in this yard. I think they have like 6 or 7, some more out back too. So what I'm gonna do is just do a little demonstration video of what I do to snip these off, and then I'll show you what they look like at the end. See ya. Okay, we're out here getting started, and just to show you what I'm using to prune these candles with, I have a pair of these kind of micro edge snippers. They're really nice. These specifically are Fiskars, and these ones do have a coating on them that protects them from kind of the resin and the sap on these candles, so they tend not to clog up nearly as fast as just normal snippers or scissors. And then if I want to get down any deeper and take out big chunks of it, I have got my bypass printers, which I'll do. So normally I like to just keep 2 or 3 candles for next year on each branch, because they tend to start crowding way too much. Like this one here has 7 or 8, and so if you don't want to keep that branch, snip it off at the very bottom. And then to promote more new growth for next year, what you're going to do is kind of just snip it off halfway. You don't want to go down too deep. You can kind of stagger it a little bit too, so they're not all the same length. But like on this one, usually I'll take out at least the central one all the way to the bottom. That's going to be the longest one. You can even just pull some of these out by hand. And then just snip them down. So that's kind of what I'm going to be doing for most of this bush. You can decide how much more growth that you want for the next year. Like these ones down low here, if you do want them to get higher, you want them to get as tall as the rest of the bush, you kind of leave them for that year. You don't have to snip off every single one down low. But we're just trying to control the height on these right now, so we're at least going to do all the tops. Taking out the biggest ones. Maybe try to leave a little spacing between some of them. Because these are all going to turn into the branches for next year, and then you're probably going to get some buds coming out of the sides of these new branches next year, and so it'll just continue to get more and more full. You'll select the ones and totally take them off if they're gonna grow into the ones to the side of them also. Try to give them a little room in the future because you're thinking about next year too. All right, we'll get through these bushes here and then I'll kind of show you what they look like when they are done. Okay, so after about 2.5 hours and 4,000 snips later, I have these Mugo pines all trimmed down. We're basically just trying to control the height here right now. I could spend a lot more time getting in here and taking out some of the crowding, but we have a bunch more to do in the back, so right now we're just kind of focusing on height. You can see these. You can take out usually that middle center one of most of the candles and it'll take out 2 or 3 of them at a time, so I'm sure I left more than 2 or 3 on some of these, but just trying to promote that non-bunching look. There's another one. So I did these ones out front. I think there was 2 there, 3 there, 1 there. And then this is what I kind of like to make the bush look like a little more not all sphere-like. I like to have some opening in there so that more sunlight and stuff gets in, a little more layering and ramification. So that's what, if I had more time and if I was to do it in my yard, I would spend a whole bunch of hours kind of getting in there and taking out a bunch more of the bush. But right now with most of these, we're just trying to control the height and where they're going to the side. So hopefully you guys learned a little bit about pruning some candles on pine bushes. You kind of don't want to do this later in the year when the candles get too hard, because then they don't promote new buds. So you want to do this spring time when the candles are still kind of green and a little bit fragile. So thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you later.